Excellence is not a gift, but a skill that takes practice. Ignorance, the root and stem of all evil. The price of apathy towards public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. Courage is knowing what not to fear. Thinking the talking of the soul with itself. Beauty of style and harmony, and grace, and good rhythm depend on simplicity. The just, the wise, and the brave are free. The measure of a man is what he does with power. Democracy, which is a charming form of government, full of variety and disorder, and dispensing a sort of equality to equals, and unequals alike. Knowledge, which is acquired under compulsion, obtains no hold on the mind. Music is a moral law. It gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and charm, and gaiety to life, and to everything. Wise men speak because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. The beginning is the most important part of the work. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. An empty vessel makes the loudest sound, so they that have the least wit are the greatest babblers. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. Opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. Education is teaching our children to desire the right things. Those who are too smart to engage in politics are punished by being governed by those who are dumber. To be upset by a seemingly great problem is like seeing a plane flying at a low altitude and thinking it's about to crash. Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will find a way around the laws. The direction in which education starts a man will determine his future life. Excess generally causes reaction and produces a change in the opposite direction, whether it be in the seasons, or in individuals, or in governments. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. The soul that sees beauty may sometimes walk alone. Better a little which is well done, than a great deal imperfectly. I am the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. He who commits injustice is ever made more wretched than he who suffers it. Necessity is the mother of invention. Love is the joy of the good, the wonder of the wise, the amazement of the gods. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. No man should bring children into the world who is unwilling to persevere to the end in their nature and education. Justice in the life and conduct of the state is possible only as first it resides in the hearts and souls of the citizens. Philosophy is the highest music. Courage is the first of human qualities, because it is the quality that guarantees all the others. We are twice armed if we fight with faith. Ideas are the source of all things. Love is a serious mental disease. Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. No law or ordinance is mightier than understanding. Music is the movement of sound to reach the soul, for the education of its virtue. We can easily forgive a friend who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. You should not honor men more than truth. We do not learn, and that what we call learning is only a process of recollection. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. A good decision is based on knowledge, and not on numbers. The penalty that good men pay for not being interested in politics is to be governed by men worse than themselves. The soul takes nothing with her to the next world, but her education and her culture. At the beginning of the journey to the next world, one's education and culture can either provide the greatest assistance, or else act as the greatest burden to the person who has just died. Rhetoric is the art of ruling the minds of men. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. There is no harm in repeating a good thing. You can discover more about a person in an hour of play than in a year of conversation. No one is a friend to his friend who does not love in return. Wisdom alone is the science of other sciences. All the gold which is under or upon the earth is not enough to give in exchange for virtue,